Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Game 2 here at the Prep Baseball Invitational here at the Rock Sports Complex. Game 2 that we are doing tonight between Germantown and Wisconsin Lutheran. Germantown, 11th ranked in the state. Wisconsin Lutheran, 17. Good matchup here, good non-conference matchup. Final game of the night for this whole event, too. Here's the pitch starting away, and ball one, and we're underway here. Pitcher for Wisconsin Lutheran is Henry Szymanski. Jory Murkowski is the leadoff hitter for Germantown. Swing and a miss. Let me just get this game changer up. Yep, here we go. All right. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Murkowski at the plate. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled back to the screen. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 2 really good teams again here tonight. Germantown from the Greater Metro, Wisconsin Lutheran from the Woodland West. That one swung on line, and it's caught at third base by Dreyer. Leaping up catch. And we're starting off with fireworks, which are prohibited at this ballpark now. What a catch by Eli Dreyer over there at third base to start us off. Leaping catch, and now it's going to be Ty Olszewski in there for a strike. Easter Eve baseball here at the Rock Sports Complex. Szymanski sets at the plate. Here's the pitch, down low, ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. Line shot to third base for the first batter. Here's the pitch. That one's a little bit high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Both teams have appeared on the network before. Germantown many times. Football this year. Basketball. We know that pretty well. That's on the ground. Sievert on to first in time. The speedy Olszewski almost got there that time. So now heading up to the plate will be Gordon. A nice snag over there by Hotchkiss at first base. Yep, I remember Win Hotchkiss. So now it'll be Carter Gordon. 2 down now in the top of the first. That one's up, strike 1. Hits the top of the zone. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Wisconsin Lutheran on defense. Brown, Fry, and Abraham in the outfield. Dreyer, Sievert, Muma, and Hotchkiss in the infield. And Bellot behind home plate. That's the defensive lineman for Wisconsin Lutheran this evening. That one's on the ground through a base hit for Carter Gordon. Gordon starts it off. 2-on single. And let's talk about Wisconsin Lutheran once, their pitching staff this week. 2 straight no-hitters. I'm telling you, and you're probably thinking, really? 2 games in a row they threw a no-hitter. Both came against West Dallas Central, a conference foe in the Woodland West. But still, that's pretty insane to do. I mean, no matter what the level the team is, you got to be able to consistently keep good pitching and be able to do that. So Gordon takes his lead over there at first. Now it'll be Carter and Cheever at the plate. That's Grady Cheever. Kind of remember that name from last year, too. Cheever steps back in, up 1-0. That one's on the ground to short. Sievert tosses it to second in time. We will head to the bottom of the first inning. Germantown with 1 hit. We'll head. More baseball coming your way on Zaleski Sports. 0-0 game.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, bottom of the first inning between Germantown and Wisconsin Lutheran. Germantown, like I mentioned earlier, Greater Metro Conference, Wisconsin Lutheran, the Woodland West. Germantown 1 hit in the first inning. And let's pull up the standings here. Meanwhile, they'll come on the screen. Yeah, we're not that technology savvy. I'll tell you the standings here. First, we'll start in the Greater Metro Conference coming into tonight. This is not a conference game, so there'll be no conference implications. This is one of those games that you get rarity, kind of like Kaukauna versus St. Thomas More earlier. I'd love to see that game in basketball a couple years ago. Yep. All right, we're almost there. Greater Metro. So, Menominee. Nope, that's. Oh my goodness, I'm on last year. Hang on a second. So. Defense is set for Germantown. Here's the Greater Metro standings. Sussex Hamilton in first place at 6-0. Marquette at 4-0 in the second place. Brookfield Central 4-2. Brookfield East 4-2, and Germantown 2-2 in the conference. Meanwhile, Woodland West, where Wisconsin Lutheran's playing some really good baseball down there. They are 4-0 at the top and 6-0 in conference. 6-0 overall. So Wisconsin Lutheran playing some really good baseball to start the year. Here we go. Swing and a miss, strike one, and we're underway here in the bottom of the first inning. The lights are on. The spotlight's on us in Franklin. The beautiful spotlight. We'll just say it that way. Lauer, the pitcher for Germantown. Carter Fry at the plate for Wisconsin Lutheran. Fry swings and misses, strike two. So no balls, two strikes. Lauer re-engages with the mound. Here's the pitch. Low in the dirt, ball one. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Fry. Here's the pitch, and that one's followed the back screen. Nice inside pitch that time from Lauer. Kind of went inside. Evan Lauer is the starting pitcher for Germantown. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bottom of the first inning here. No outs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fry goes down swinging, and we're 1 down here in the top of the first. Defensive lineman for Wisconsin Lutheran, Reinecke in left, Murkowski in center, Frank in right, Xavier at third, Wagner at short, Olszewski at second, Gordon at first, Lauer on the mound, and Cheever behind the plate doing the catching. That's your defensive lineman for Germantown. So here's the pitch inside, ball 1, and that's going to send up Carter Sievert. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Head coaches of both teams. Germantown is Jay Wojcinski. Wisconsin Lutheran, Steve Kargas. The first game I can actually do head coach names without looking it up. That one's in there, strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Here in the bottom of the first, Sievert steps out. Lauer steps off the mound. Lauer re-engages with the mound. Here's the pitch. Takes low, ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. High and away, 3 balls, 2 strikes now. So from 0-2 to 3-2 now for Lauer. Sievert standing up. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down here. That's Sievert. Here's the pitch. Cold, strike 3. Couldn't tell at first, but gets the low corner, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the first. So great pitch that time from Lauer. So now that will send up Andrew Bellot, who for my eyes is a pretty good catcher and a pretty good hitter. We've seen a lot out of him even last year on the broadcast. I don't think he was highlight house player of the game, but he came up with some clutch hits last year. So he'll step in with 2 outs here. Here's the pitch to Bellot. Takes low again. Strike 2 on the curve. So no balls, 2 strikes on Bellot. He swings and fouls that one back to the screen. We'll give you a little bit Milwaukee Brewers update. It's 3-1 there, but we turned it off once we found out UL Piamps was coming in the game. So that's your one and only Brewers update of the day. Back on here. That's one of the other baseball games going on in the city tonight. This might be the only game going on in the state tonight, like this late. Because you don't see a lot of night games in general, especially the night before Easter. And that one's high to Bellot. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, baseball under the lights. There's some teams around here that have lights, but they never use them, which kind of makes no sense to me. Like, at least play a night game like on a Friday night or something. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bellot. He swings it on the ground to Wagner. Wagner on to first in time. Wisconsin Lutheran goes 3 up, 3 down. We head to the second 0-0 ball game here at Melkman Field.
The biggest name in streaming and the biggest name in Wisconsin high school sports broadcasting are now in the same place. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today for easy viewing of your favorite high school sports. Find games by season, sport, or school, then sit back and enjoy. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, top of the second inning between Germantown and Wisconsin Lutheran. Here at Franklin Field in Franklin, Wisconsin. Matt Peck, Elijah Vinxalata here. Happy to be with you here on this Saturday night before Easter. Twas the night. I'm not going to go down that road. Twas the night before Easter. Yeah. All right, here's ball outside, ball one, and starts on the way. Szymanski obviously still remains on the mound for Wisconsin Lutheran. Gave a one hit in the first. Wagner, the batter for Germantown. Here's the pitch. Ball two. That was an interesting one because that looked like that was close to the zone. If he caught it, would have been a strike. So 2 balls, no strikes on Wagner. Here's the pitch. In there, strike one. So 2 balls, 1 strike on Wagner now. Here's the pitch. Just missed the outside corner, so it'll be 3 balls, 1 strike. Both teams still run out the same lineups. Obviously no changes. You wouldn't expect any changes this early unless something sudden would come up. So 3-1 now on Wagner. Here's the pitch. Hits the outside corner, strike 2. Actually brought out a decent crowd a little bit on the left and right side. I mean, obviously you say decent, you're going to be like, well, it's not full, but it's Saturday night before Easter, and both teams are out, and that's to Loomis Road, Highway 36. Watch out, baseball. You might knock down an orange barrel on Loomis Road. There's plenty of them. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs here in the top of the second, and swing and a miss, strike 3. Szymanski with the strikeout to open up the inning. Germantown, 2 years in a row, they get a game under the lights here at the PBR event. Last year was on a Friday night. They played Hudson.
Last year they literally put the lights out of this game.
Yeah, last night, like you said, I went back to that game a couple days ago. You said Hudson hit the lights off the game. Ball 1 and Reineke at the plate now, so, yeah.
Such a good game that the lights went out.
Crazy. So here's the pitch from Szymanski. Swing and a miss, strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. Szymanski sets. That one's followed the back screen. I jumped so far in this press box. I'm now on the floor. That ball came flying. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 down here in the top of the second inning. Reineke steps back in. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 straight strikeouts for Szymanski. So 2 down now in the top of the second. So now D. Michael will walk in. That is Ian D. Michael. Take strike 1. A little bit. No balls, 1 strike. 2 down here. Takes outside, ball 1. Yeah, overall, pretty beautiful day here in Franklin. You know, it's obviously nighttime, so it's going to start lowering the temperatures a little bit. We had 76 yesterday. We weren't here. We probably done the broadcast outside yesterday. Meanwhile, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on D. Michael. Yeah, we probably done the broadcast outside yesterday. Sat out in right field. One time back when we were with Max Preps, I thought about coming here. It was Catholic Memorial over St. Thomas More. That would have been in 2023 and doing a broadcast out in right field. It was a Sunday afternoon, too. It was kind of weird. I was like, hey, let's take advantage of that. And the game ended up being 15-0. So I'm like, oh, probably good I stayed home. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Ball outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Szymanski re-engages with the rubber. Here's the pitch, and no, he did not offer. And that's outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. So top of the second still. Germantown with 1 hit. Wisconsin Lutheran with 0. Here's the pitch from Szymanski, and that one's fouled to the back screen again. D. Michael staying alive. This year's event is different. Last year we had a PA announcer and everything. This year we don't even have the scoreboard on. You know, it's an Easter weekend, so I bet it's tough to get staff. Meanwhile, 3 balls, 2 strikes, ball 4 high, and D. Michael walks. So now they'll bring up Logan Zavril. He steps in with a runner on first. Swing and a miss, strike 1. So far this year, we had you go back and watch the last game if you're looking for some good baseball, 10-inning thriller between Kimberly and Monona Grove. Monona Grove came away 3-2 in the walk-off single in the 10th. That one's in the air, center field. High up. Actually, no, the second shortstop will call it off. That's Sievert. And we head to the bottom of the second inning. Still no score here at Milkman Field. More baseball coming your way after this on Zaleski Sports.
At Ridgetop, we are your trusted, local, affordable exterior renovations expert. Isn't that right, Bo?
Exactly, especially when we are working on someone's biggest investment.
Can you give us an example, Bo?
Well, there was this house. We replaced the roofing, siding, and windows. Then, they left a 5-star review.
One of our thousands of 5-star reviews?
Exactly.
For your free, no-obligation estimate, call us today or go to ridgetopexteriors.com.
At Fleet Farm, we're all about your everyday, but not just any old day. Here, every day's opening day. Every day's a school day. Every day's a monster day. And every day is too short. Whatever makes your day, Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life.
Back here on Zaleski Sports. Hit at the bottom of the second inning here. Wynn Hotchkiss will come up first for Wisconsin Lutheran. He steps in on Easter Eve. Come on, somebody put one over the wall at some point. I haven't had a home run call yet, I don't think. Even last year. And that one's in the air at left field. Got underneath it, Hotchkiss that time. And making the catch out there is... Oh, let's look on here. It was... Reinke. Game changer to chart time loading that time. I was like, oh boy. Well, I don't think I've ever heard a walk-off before, so that was one established today. So now Eli Dreyer will come up, who had made a terrific catch in the first inning at third base, the first batter of the game. And he goes, and it's called strike anyways.
Our basketball game of the year, I nearly had a game winner call. That was weird.
Yeah, that was something. Dreyer steps back in. Dreyer half swings at that one. And going out to make the catch at second base is Olszewski. So 2 down now for Wisconsin Lutheran. So now Brown will come up next for Wisconsin Lutheran. Get your game changer up. Takes outside ball 1. And this is Anthony Brown at the plate. Switching chats here for game changer. Okay, here we go. So, 1 ball, no strikes on Anthony Brown. Takes in there, strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down here in the Wisconsin Lutheran. 2 quick outs. You know, last batter Dreyer, kind of a half swing to the second baseman. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Look at that break. Kind of a breaking ball sliding in that time. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Lauer. Two down here now. Here's the pitch from Lauer. And does he go? They say he did. So we head to the 3rd inning. 0-0 game still here at the Milkman Stadium. More baseball coming your way after this on Zaleski Sports.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now.
Rich, creamy, and fun. Point Craft Soda. Caffeine-free, made with 100% real sugar. From Stevens Point Brewery.
Back here on Zaleski Sports from Franklin Field, top of the 3rd inning here. We have a special guest joining us right now. It is the Easter Bunny. Oh, I'm kidding. Wouldn't that be something we got the Easter Bunny? You can go steal him from Southbridge Mall on the street. He's done working now. Meanwhile, that's inside ball. Yeah. Ball 1 inside now. Here's the pitch. It's taken high again, ball 2. So Szymanski, 2 balls right away. Frank, the batter for Germantown. Frank lines that one to third base hit. The left field. Brown will field it. And Germantown's second hit of the evening comes from Frank. So Frank takes his lead over there. Szymanski sets. This will now be Murkowski. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. We are officially at the top of the order again in the 3rd inning. That's for sure. Throws back to first, Szymanski, using that lefty pickoff move, which is tough, if you ask me. I mean, you got to really pay attention over there when you got lefty on first, especially if you're leading off. They could come back at you at the last second. Here's the pitch. That one's ripped foul to the seats. Right off the bathroom door. So no balls, 2 strikes on Murkowski. Frank takes his lead over there at first. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down for Wisconsin Lutheran in the field. Murkowski goes down swinging. Throws back to first there. Typically what it is. Frank takes his lead. Yep. Frank takes his lead. He's got a steal over there, and the ball is bobbled. So Frank will take second base and get a runner in scoring position for Germantown. So meeting on the mound will be with Szymanski and Bellot. So Olszewski steps back in. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 down here. Frank on second. Here's the pitch inside 2-0. So Bellot calls time again. So Olszewski steps back in here now, 0 for 1 today. Szymanski sets up there at the mound. Here's the pitch. Inside again, 3-0. Frank takes his lead over there at second, and Szymanski steps off. Here's the pitch from Szymanski. And my game changer said ball 4. But apparently it's 3-1. All right, so 3-1 now. Here's the pitch. Now that's ball 4. So Frank walks. So say Olszewski walks. Olszewski. And now that will send up Gordon. Gordon steps in. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. Here's the pitch. Gordon lines that one foul to Lux Golf. He'll blend in with every golf ball over there. So no balls, 2 strikes now on Gordon. Szymanski sets here. He's up to 47 pitches here in the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down now for Wisconsin Lutheran. Gordon goes down swinging. So now that will send up Cheever. So Grady Cheever at the plate now. He takes high, ball 1. Wisconsin Lutheran still undefeated, haven't lost yet. But we'll talk about this while they're on defense. Back-to-back no-hitters they threw this week against West Dallas Central. I'm not kidding. 2 games in a row they threw a no-hitter. That one's in the air, left field. Chasing back on it, and it's going to be over the head. I could lost in the lights. It's going to go all the way to... No way. He caught it. Wow. Boy, I really lost that baseball that time. So Fry and Brown, what a track catch that time to get out there and make that catch. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Still 0-0.
ZaleskiSports.com has leveled up. Go to ZaleskiSports.com and choose your favorite schools for easy navigation. From the homepage, choose your school to see team records, upcoming schedules, and past results. Use the video icon to launch the next broadcast. Use the arrow icon to watch any previous broadcasts. See the full weekly schedule too. Level up at ZaleskiSports.com. Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now.
So back here on Zaleski Sports, we are in the bottom of the third. 0-0 game between Wisconsin Lutheran and Germantown. Just 2 hits between both teams. Germantown has both those hits. Wisconsin Lutheran, I'm not sure if they've had a base runner yet. But anyway, stepping in now is... We'll wait till the game changer loads up. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. I'm waiting. Number 17 to me. It's Kugler at the bat for the Wisconsin Lutheran Vikings. Lauer remains in the game as pitcher. Ball is low, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Lauer sets. Here's the pitch. Pitch is outside, ball 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So Kugler up to 2 strikes here. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Kugler. Lauer up to 27 pitches. So a pretty good spot. And cold, strike 3. Kugler goes down looking. And there's 1 down here in the bottom of the third. So now Lauer sets here. 1 down in the inning. Takes strike 1. So now Abramowski's up at the plate now for Wisconsin Lutheran. Here's the pitch. Slides in for strike 2. So quickly 0-2. So here, awaiting the pitch, up and in. So 2 balls, 1 strike. That's at least what Game Changer says. Abramowski steps back in now. Up 2-1. Takes outside, ball 3. So 3 balls, no, 1 ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the count was just updated. That's on the ground to first. Gordon makes the play. They're going to call it foul. So 3 balls, 2 strikes on Abramowski. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down for the Germantown defense now. Lauer up to 6 strikeouts. No, 5. I got him in 5. But still, impressive outing so far for Lauer. So now Chase Muma will come up. Here's the pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Muma steps back in. Up 1-0. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Muma at the plate. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Lauer, I'm just going to be honest right now, Lauer's been pretty dominant on the mound. We've seen, like I mentioned before, this at bat 5 strikeouts early on. Just that neither team has been able to factor like a big rally in each inning yet. But it's early. And takes outside. Did he go? Yes, they say he did. So 6 strikeouts to start in 3 innings for Lauer. We head to the 4th inning. Germantown and Wisconsin Lutheran still tied at goose eggs. Coming up
The biggest name in streaming and the biggest name in Wisconsin high school sports broadcasting are now in the same place. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today for easy viewing of your favorite high school sports. Find games by season, sport, or school, then sit back and enjoy. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, top of the 4th inning here from Franklin Field. That's on the ground. Sievert on the first. It's not going to get there. So once we get this loaded up here, yep, that was Sievert at short. That was Wagner that beat out that infield single. So now Wagner at first, Reineke up now 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. Szymanski goes back to first on the pickoff move. So Szymanski sets again. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1. He'll throw back to first again to try to catch him off guard, and he'll get back easily. Yeah, we noticed Szymanski using that lefty suit a lot today. Here's the pitch. Low in the dirt, 2-0. Szymanski sets again. Wagner takes his lead over there at first, and that one's ripped to second and over the head into center field. Wagner will take third. And runners on the corners for Germantown here in the top of the 4th. Reineke strikes a base hit to center. Germantown, like I talked about, neither team is really threatened yet. Germantown now in business. So runners on first and third now, no outs. D. Michael steps in now. Here's the pitch from Szymanski. That one's popped up in the air. Playable in left field by Brown. Brown lines up, throwing home, and they'll return back. But meanwhile, Reineke will tag up from second, but good throw that time from Brown to be able to hold the runner at third. You could tell Wagner wanted to go, but probably would have been dead meat at the plate. So now one down. Reineke moves up 90 feet to second base. And now that was ripped foul, and it's going to be Zaverill. It's going to be Logan Zaverill at the plate now. Two guys on, second and third, one out for Germantown. No balls, one strike. Pitch is high and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Szymanski. Takes outside, strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's a pitch from Szymanski, high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Yeah, Szymanski working that high pitch count. He's getting up to almost 60 here now in the 4th inning. Remember, in high school, you can only pitch 100. And then they got to yank you. Here's the pitch, and that's up in the air. High in the air. Left field. Coming in is Brown. Oh, he missed it! And that will score a run, but the throw coming in third. And it hits the runner. So, I'll be interested to see what they rule that. I'm not sure if he ever got a glove. If he never got a glove on the ball, it'll be a single. But so it's 1-0 Germantown after the misplay fly ball by Brown out there. Yeah, it was probably lost in the lights problem. Like that fly ball last inning when Germantown went out there. I couldn't tell if the guy caught it or not because it was so far out there. So it'll be interesting to see what they rule it here. But meanwhile, Germantown with the 1-0 lead. They're going to rule the single because he never touched the ball. So outside, ball 1. Germantown now with the 1-0 lead. Frank steps back in now. Frank is now the batter for Germantown. Szymanski sets here now. Here's the pitch, and that one's in the air. The same spot again, left field. Brown going back on it. This time they should be able to tag. Brown makes the catch. He'll throw it in to the shortstop, Sievert, and it's 2-0 Germantown. A sac fly brings Reineke home. So Murkowski will come up now. Just keep in mind, Wisconsin Lutheran coming off a game just before this. They beat McWanago over there on the other field, 6-4. And that one gets by the catcher, Bellot, and he'll race it back. Hadn't Zaverill slid into second, he might have been able to get to third. But that was a good effort by Bellot, able to get up right away and go right after the ball. And so now Germantown with another runner in scoring position, and Murkowski can get a bat in the baseball in the outfield. It could possibly be a 3-0 game here. So Szymanski sets. Here's the pitch. High inside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Zaverill takes his lead over there at second. Szymanski sets again. Here's the delivery. And outside, 3-0 now. No action yet in the Wisconsin Lutheran bullpen. And that's a concern, too, like Elijah just brought. They might have used a lot of pitchers last game. So it's 3-0. Szymanski walks him. So 2 outs, 2 runners on now, yet again. So now Olszewski will come up here with 2 runners on, first and second, 2 outs. Runner goes. Double steal. Thrown on a third. Drops it. So Xavier and Murkowski get a double steal for Germantown. And just like that, a base hit now can make it a 4-0 game. So here's the pitch. That one's ripped to left. Foul. That gets down the line. Nearly missed the line. You could be looking at a 4-0 game. So it'll be no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So here's the pitch. High call, strike 3. 2 runs for Germantown here in the top of the 4th. We will head to the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Germantown lead over Wisconsin.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now. The biggest name in streaming and the biggest name in Wisconsin high school sports broadcasting are now in the same place. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today for easy viewing of your favorite high school sports. Find games by season, sport, or school, then sit back and enjoy. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today.
Back here on Zaleski Sports. Bottom of the 4th inning here between Wisconsin Lutheran and Germantown. Carter Fry leads it off. Lauer still in. Lauer delivers here. Pitch is in there. Strike 1 on the outside corner. I almost call him Eric Lauer because his name is Lauer E. Lauer. It's Evan Lauer. So Lauer sets again. Here's the pitch. And curves down for a strike, so no balls, 2 strikes quickly on Fry. Here's the pitch. That one's ripped right above us. And somebody hit it with their golf club right across the way. So no balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Lauer. And swing and a miss, strike 3. Fry goes down swinging. 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. So Sievert steps in now, 0 for 1 today. 1 down here in the 4th. Takes up side, ball 1. Here's the pitch. In there, strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Keep in mind, last game was rolling fast, but it was also 2-0. Just giving you the fun fact of the day. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here it is, swung on, foul ball. Looks like I got a clip of the Cheever and the umpire. You got me thinking of that restaurant by the airport. Yeah, there used to be a place in Cleaver. I forgot the first part of it was, but you know, you got me thinking about it. I don't know why when I said Cleaver. So, anyways, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lauer sets. Here's the pitch. That one's on the ground, foul to the third base side. Wisconsin Lutheran, like me and Elijah talked about in between innings, no hits yet tonight. Bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. That one's in the air, center field. Going back on his Murkowski. He'll make the catch. 2 down. All right. 2 down now. Bottom of the 4th inning. Andrew Bellot at the plate now for Wisconsin Lutheran. That one's in the air, foul to the right side. Andrew Bellot, one of those players from the PBR you got to watch. I think he was listed in one of the top players in his class. I think he was 26 or 27. So either a sophomore or a junior. And that one slides down there for a strike, so no balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And taken outside, ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, now 1 out. On this Easter Eve fine evening. They actually never got that cold today. Yeah. Well, they also have the temperature set at 60-some degrees in here. I just looked at the thermometer. I'm like, wow. And swinging, that's fouled off Bellot's leg. Yep, we got to also give a thank you out to, let's see, we got a lot of people to thank today. We got PBR staff to thank us for letting us be here. Joe Olivo, once again, one of our good friends. A lot of great, friendly people here at the Rock. Used to work at the snow park over there. I'll tell you about that one little story that time. I got hurt on the hill. I didn't get hurt, but one of the coworkers of mine sent the kid down. I was in the alley fixing the lanes, and the kid flipped me right up in the air. It was on New Year's Eve, too. We were going bowling after. I'm like, you know what? It knocked the wind out of me, but you know that's the kind of memories I got from this place. That one's strung on foul and right at the dugout. Kind of like another story when I got out of the smaller fields over there when I was watching one of my friends play, and probably about 10 years ago. Yeah, we got told to leave. No, I wasn't 10. It wasn't 10 years ago. It was probably like 7, 8. Yeah, somewhere around there. But we were watching a friend play, and, you know, some parents didn't like we were cheering, and, you know, before you know it, we're out of the stadium. So I won't go into the whole story of that, but that's some interesting things have happened at the Rock. Meanwhile, that's inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I've had quite the experience up here. Yeah. Crystal Ridge Snow Park, that's what it's called now, yes. Up there, they had the Rock Snow Park. It used to be Crystal Ridge years ago, and then it went to the Rock Snow Park, now back to Crystal Ridge. Whoever owned Crystal Ridge must have said, here's $1 million, here's my name. That one's ripped and caught at second base by Olszewski. We've had 2 great catches tonight. What a catch out there, and we head to the 5th inning. Still a 2-0 Germantown lead.
You're tuned in to Better Halves. Mike, what are you looking for?
Skip, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. I still got big plans for my life and my Medicare.
I know exactly what you want from Medicare. Same as all the other guys. Me!
Hey, Mike, I'm Sheila from Security, and I'm just like you. In fact, I'm from your neighborhood, and I've got a Medicare plan that treats you like you.
Did it just get better in here?
Back here on Zaleski Sports, 5th inning, here from the Rock Sports Complex, Franklin Field. Matt Beck, Elijah Vincelata here with you. Pleasure to do the call this evening on the Easter Eve. You know, we were in the process of talking about stories that happened at the Rock Sports Complex here. And that's swinging a miss, strike one. How about the senior sunset? What we did with Oak Creek High School, we did at the Rock up here. I remember I was coming from work. I was the only one that didn't have a hoodie on. And people called me nuts. I actually wasn't that cold. Oh, we won't talk about that part. Strike two. No balls, 2 strikes. Gordon down 0-2. Yeah. We're not going to give anybody any ideas. And we weren't the ones that did it, but we just won't give anybody any ideas. A lot of these kids are seniors on both these teams. They go back and watch this broadcast. And that one's on the ground to Muma. Muma on the first in time. Muma to Hotchkiss. So 1 down here in the top of the 5th. You know, we got so many stories we can tell. I'm surprised I've told this many stories of me being under the weather. Yeah, Elijah's under the weather. That's why he chose to sit in silence tonight. So Grady Cheever will come up now 0 for 2. 1 down here in the top of the 5th. That one's in there, strike one. You name it. You name it. Ball 1 ball, 1 strike now. Says Mansky up to 74 pitches. Cheever 0 for 2 today at the plate. Yep. Here's the pitch. That one's outside, taken outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, Germantown's 2-0 lead last inning. That was a huge 2 runs for them. Obviously a base hit that came. One of them was on a misplay fly ball, but the other one was just a sac fly. So, you know, those 2 runs could mean a lot here going down the stretch. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled right up here and right into the suite next to us. You know, I might go get that ball later. Yeah. Nobody's going to be up here unless the PBR guys. They were in the room earlier. Yep. Oh, they were up here. I laughed because they came in behind us and they saw we were talking. They're like, it's like they were walking like ants. They were like, okay, we got to be quiet. Yeah, so 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's a pitch to Cheever. Cheever takes strike 3. Szymanski K's another one, and Szymanski up to 6 strikeouts on the night. And this will send up Doug Wagner with 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Doug Wagner steps in. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike. That one's rip foul. No balls, 2 strike. They hit the light pole and came back in the stands. Thank goodness nobody was sitting down there. So Wagner down 0-2. That one's high and away, ball 1. You know, it's funny because I made that comment earlier. I said they were hitting a lot of foul balls towards Highway 36, Loomis Road. I wonder how many orange barrels have been dented. There's tons of them over there. When I say tons of them, I mean tons of them. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Pitch to Wagner. He follows that one again to the screen. Imagine they made the catcher lead the ballpark to get every ball. We would be here till... Yeah. We'll be here past McDonald's and Raising Cane's is closing hour. We'll roll up to the window. Can I have a Shamrock Shake? Oh, that's 2 months late. Anyway, swing and a miss, strike 3. Wagner goes down swinging. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-0 Germantown still. More baseball coming your way on Zaleski Sports.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now. The biggest name in streaming and the biggest name in Wisconsin high school sports broadcasting are now in the same place. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today for easy viewing of your favorite high school sports. Find games by season, sport, or school, then sit back and enjoy. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today.
Back here on Zaleski Sports. We got some good baseball over here on the south side of the town. Not so much on the 94 side of town over there on the American Family Field. So we got some good baseball here, 2-0. Hotchkiss steps in to start the inning. Here's the pitch, and it nearly hits Hotchkiss. We're in the bottom of the fifth. So Lauer still remains out there. Swing on the ground, foul. And Lauer, I'm going to cross my fingers when I say this right now. Lauer is throwing a no-hitter right now. Yeah, Lauer is throwing a no-hitter right now. He's got no-hit, 4 no-hit innings technically right now. And if there's a hit that involves here, not my fault. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a line drive base hit. Wow. Hotchkiss with the single. And the first Wisconsin Lutheran hit of the night. Boy, I guess they really see it when the announcer jinx is real. So Eli Dreyer comes up now. Hotchkiss takes his lead over there at first. Swung and a miss, strike 1 to Dreyer. Dreyer re-engages with the rubber here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes now. No outs here in the inning. Win Hotchkiss comes up with the base hit. There used to be a Will Hotchkiss. I think they played for Wisconsin Lutheran. That's why I said that. Somewhere around there probably. That one's ripped down the right field line. Will that fall fair? It will. Into the corner it goes. Hotchkiss, he's got to get running over there. To third base he goes. Wow, and that's overthrown. Wait a minute, what's going on here? They called that foul? They called that foul. Wow. That looked, I was going to say, from up here, it looked fair. I was wondering why Hotchkiss stopped running. And then when the ball was overthrown, and now Steve Kargas, the head coach of Wisconsin Lutheran, will come in and talk it over. So it'll remain a foul ball. I hear a lot of parents yelling below us. There's a lot of chatter going on below us. I couldn't tell from here, but it looked like it was close. Well, obviously, I kind of lost on the lights, but so it'll be no balls, 2 strikes. And kind of a different situation now because Wisconsin Lutheran could have second and third, no outs. So no balls, 2 strikes, run on first. Hotchkiss takes his lead. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hotchkiss takes his lead over there. Dreyer set in the batter's box. Here's the pitch. And takes low again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hotchkiss takes his lead. Dreyer calls time. So Dreyer steps back in now. Lauer looking for the sign. And Dreyer calls time again. So it'll be 2 balls, 2 strikes still. Hotchkiss takes his lead over there at first. That one's ripped. Oh, it hits the pitcher. Wagner's going to feel it. He's still going to get the out at first. But we hope Lauer's okay as that ball was line drive right at him. So Hotchkiss gets the second, and they'll come out and check on Lauer. I mean, I should say his teammates will. So now Brown will bat. 0 for 1 today. Here's a pitch. Brown lines that one foul to the back screen. Lauer looking through it for his sign. 65 pitches he's up to. 1 out here in the 5th. Here's the pitch. That one's in the air to left. Reineke underneath it. He'll make the catch. 2 down. So now it'll be Kugler at the plate for Wisconsin Lutheran. Here's the pitch. And nearly clipped him. 1 ball, no strikes. Lauer looks back towards second. Here's the pitch. That was on the ground. Foul. Off the batter. So 1 ball, 1 strike. I haven't checked the YouTube chat in a while. Is anybody online? Just check on here. No, nobody's online. Leave us a comment. Leave us something to talk about in between pitches. 1 ball, 1 strike. Talk about Easter. Talk about high school baseball. That one curves in for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 down here in the 5th. Oops, sorry. So Lauer sets now. Here's the nope. Calls time. Lauer kind of doing one of those long pauses. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Lauer K's another one. We head to the 6th. Germantown 2-0 over Wisconsin Lutheran.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now.
And we start off with the second batter, hit by pitch. Meanwhile, welcome back here, Matt Pack, Elijah Vinks. A lot of sorry I had to run real quick. All right. So Reineke hit by a pitch. So looks to be some questioning out here now. So Szymanski's still a pitcher for Wisconsin Lutheran. I think they're going to try to ride on him as much as they can because keep in mind, they played a game just before this. They took down McQuanago. And a game that they had to come from behind to win. Boy, that McQuanago's a sneaky team this year, too. And here's a pitch from Szymanski. Takes it high, 2-1-0. And we'll talk about this, though, too. You know, PBR rankings have been, like, crazy because Muskego, for example, they're number 1 coming in the season. They lost 2 games this week. The Waukesha North, but then they came in and beat a Hudson team that was undefeated today by a run rule. So they've been all over different places. That pitch is taken. That's a hit by pitch again. So now DeMichael walks via hit by pitch, and now 2 runners on for Germantown. So back-to-back hit by pitches to open up the inning. Here's a pitch. In there, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. First and second, Reineke and DeMichael on base. Here's a pitch. Runner takes off for third. On to third. And double steal for Germantown. Second and third. Reineke takes off for third. DeMichael takes off for second. And there's 2 runners in scoring position now, no outs here in the 6th. So 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs here. Pitch is high, 2 balls, 1 strike. Zavriel at the plate now. Here's the pitch. Pitch is high on outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. So 3-run, 2 runners on, second and third now, no outs. Here's a pitch. That one's popped up foul. Here, I got another start for you guys. How about last year at this PBR event when me and Elijah had to go through after leaving? I'm not going to tell you where we went out or what we did because I don't want to expose anything in the future, but everybody had left, and we finished up our broadcast here last year. I think it was the Hudson Germantown game. Oh, so Germantown. So we're already off to a bad start with teams involved. Yeah, knock on wood. But we'll talk about more after this pitch, and that one's line foul. So what happened was nice kick over there by Jay Wojcinski, the head coach, meanwhile. But what happened was everybody was locked. Everything was locked in the stadium. We had to roll out certain. Yeah, it was the same night as the power outage. We had to roll out of a certain part of the stadium, and we both were lucky enough to fit underneath it. Otherwise, we probably would have been calling some interesting, saying, hey, we're stuck. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So one down here now in the 7th. 6th. 2 runners still on for Germantown. DeMichael on second, Reineke on third. So now Frank will come up.
What, did that game where the power outage happened, that game didn't end till like 11 though.
Yep. So Szymanski sets. This one's on the ground. It's going to be lightly tap foul. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes on Frank. Szymanski sets. Here's the pitch, and that one's ripped to right field. Abramowski's going to get there, and the runner will tag. And coming home is Reineke, and the throw to third, meanwhile, is out. So a double play ends up on it, but Germantown gets the run across from Reineke on the tag. So it's a 3-0 Germantown lead. We head to the 6th, bottom of the 6th, coming up after this.
The biggest name in streaming and the biggest name in Wisconsin high school sports broadcasting are now in the same place. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today for easy viewing of your favorite high school sports. Find games by season, sport, or school, then sit back and enjoy. Download the Zaleski Sports app on Roku today.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, bottom of 6th inning, 3-0 Germantown lead. Abramowski leads off for Wisconsin Lutheran. Pitches outside, ball 1. Wisconsin Lutheran will have a new pitcher next inning, Szymanski. I think he was right around that 97 mark. I doubt they bring him out for 3 pitches. And they got somebody warming up right now. You know, it's kind of scary down there because that bullpen doesn't have a lot of lighting. Yeah, when that pitch is coming at you down there like the catcher that's catching in there, you probably can hardly see it. So 2 balls, no strikes on Abramowski. Here's the pitch, low in the dirt. 3-0. So Lauer sets back up here on the mound now. 3-0. Here's the pitch, and he takes strike one, Abramowski, that time. So, yeah, tomorrow, Easter, everyone. What are your plans for Easter? Tell us in the comments if you're watching. Hey, what are we doing for Easter? You having 70 people over? I hit their strike two. Elijah says church. Church and food. Okay, that's a good one. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, Abramowski. Here's the pitch. And ball 4. He reaches. First batter of the inning. So now they'll send Chase Muma up, who's 0 for 1 today. Ball's low in the dirt, 1-0. Yeah, it's a good question. Elijah brought up the thermostat being low. It's like, yeah, 60. You have it set at 60 something in April? Wow. They're trying to freeze us out of here. I'm kidding. Two balls, no strikes. They didn't know that 2 under the weather guys were coming to call baseball tonight. Under the weather. Yeah. Here we go. So the pitching coach for Germantown will come out now. 2-0. Yeah, no reason. No wonder. I don't know why still to this day. That's a good question. Now I'm going to take a break real quick. Right back here on Zaleski Sports after that brief pause. So Muma steps in now. Here's a pitch. Takes inside, strike 1. So 2 balls, 1 strike on Muma. Abramowski at first after the walk. And that one hits Muma. And so now Wisconsin Lutheran in business now. First and second, no outs in the bottom of the 6th. I bet we'll see somebody run out to that Germantown bullpen real quick soon because Lauer's at 80 pitches too. So now Carter Fry will be at the plate. First and second, no outs. Here's the pitch. Carter Fry takes ball 1 a little bit high. So here's the pitch. Pitch is outside again, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes on Fry. So another mound visit. Fry steps back in now. Lauer 2-0 on Fry. He takes strike one. So here's the pitch from Lauer. Swing and a miss, strike two. Elijah has informed me somebody's starting to stretch in the Germantown bullpen. Wouldn't be surprised, though. Lauer at 84 pitches. Here's the pitch on the ground, foul to the third base side. Pitcher's name warming up in the bullpen is Matt Peck. I'm heading down there right now. 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Yep, that's true. Yep. So 2 balls, 2 strikes on Fry. Swing and a miss, strike three. Fry goes down swinging, 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. I'll tell you, American wins that one thing tonight when you look at that Lakers score.
They are down by 30 almost as much as our beloved Bucks.
Yep. Bucks and Lakers didn't have the best day. Ball 1 low in the dirt. So 1 ball, no strikes. Carter Sievert at the plate now. Here's the pitch, low in the dirt, 2-0. So Lauer sets up. Here's the pitch, and now it's in the air, left field. Reineke coming on. He's going to miss it in the outfield. And they're going to have to hold Abramowski at third because you didn't know if he's going to catch it or not. That was a risky effort. It looked like at first he was going to be able to catch it easily, but not that time.
Looks like it was falling fast.
So the go-ahead run out the plate now, Andrew Bellot, 0 for 2. Time is called. Looks like head coach Jay Wojcinski is coming out. Let me try. I'm trying to see. I don't think that is the head coach, actually. So, no, I don't think he will be coming out. Nope, he won't be coming out. Yep, where to go with the ball. What happens if it's hit to you? You got to come home. Go to second, go to first. Depends where the ball's hit. Don't mess this up. It's probably one of them, too. So now Andrew Bellot will step in. Bellot 0 for 2. Bellot steps in. Here's the pitch. Strike 1.
Going back to that one story where when the power went out, remember we weren't sure, we were about to call the game up just like that.
Yep. Here's the pitch. No ball, 1 strike. Low in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike now. You know, it's kind of interesting because how they're playing Bellot in. If he hits the ball over the center fielder's head, say he hits it to the wall, he might have a triple. Just because of how close they're playing him. That too, potentially, because you think about it, by the time he runs out there, gets the ball, obviously he'll be on the run once the ball's hit. But yeah, center field's deep here, and the outfielder playing pretty close. Bellot in the air, right field. That will be caught. Nice sliding catch out there, and everybody will have to hold. Wait a minute here. Now it's a mistake by Wisconsin Lutheran on the base path, and now it results in a double play. Wow, so So Muma decided he wanted to run, but Abramowski was not ready. So now We head to the 7th. Wisconsin Lutheran comes up empty with bases loaded, 1 out. We'll head to the 7th now.
At Ridgetop, we are your trusted, local, affordable exterior renovations expert. Isn't that right, Bo?
Exactly, especially when we are working on someone's biggest investment.
Can you give us an example, Bo?
Well, there was this house. We replaced the roofing, siding, and windows. Then, they left a 5-star review.
One of our thousands of 5-star reviews?
Exactly.
For your free, no obligation estimate, call us today or go to ridgetopexteriors.com.
At Fleet Farm, we're all about your everyday, but not just any old day. Here, every day's opening day. Every day's a school day. Every day's a monster day. And every day is too short. Whatever makes your day, Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, top of the 7th inning. 3-0 lead for Germantown. Murkowski will come up to bat here. John Murkowski. He steps in now here in the top of 7th. Last at bats for Germantown, unless something crazy happens. Here's the pitch. New pitcher, by the way, for Wisconsin Lutheran is Rabby. That's what it says on Game Changer. It says number 9 is pitching. Yeah, it looks like number 19. So let's just go with Dreyer. And Wisconsin Lutheran, I don't think, has their Game Changer running. So here's the pitch. Pitch is high. Here, I'll check. Number 12. So Eli Dreyer in the pitch. Sorry for that confusion. One Game Changer says 1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Murkowski goes down swinging. And Eli Dreyer right out of the pen. 1 strikeout. So now Olszewski will come up for Germantown. Here's the pitch in there for a strike. Olszewski 0 for 2 tonight. Here's the pitch inside, ball 1. Yeah, I would say so. So here's the pitch. Ball outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Olszewski steps back in. Here's the pitch from Dreyer. Low in the dirt, ball 3. Dreyer's next offering, and he went around, strike 2. I think it was a called strike. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count on Olszewski now. Here's the pitch from Dreyer, ball 4. Walks him. So now Gordon will come up. Here's the pitch. Sinks down for a strike. So Olszewski on first. Inside, throws down to second on the steal, and Olszewski is safe and now in scoring position. Oh, he slipped out the bag, so he's out. All right. I thought he did, but at first, but wasn't sure if they got the tag on him, so there's actually 2 outs now. Olszewski slides off the base. So Andrew Bella catches Olszewski stealing. So 2 down now here in the top of the 7th. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's a pitch from Dreyer. Dreyer throws in there, strike 2. So 2 outs here in this top of the 7th inning. Here's a pitch from Dreyer. Swing and a miss, strike 3. We head to the bottom of 7th inning. Last chance for Wisconsin Lutheran coming up, down 3-0. We'll be back after this on Zaleski Sports.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now.
Rich, creamy, and fun. Point Craft Soda. Caffeine-free, made with 100% real sugar. From Stevens Point Brewery.
Back here on Zaleski Sports. Last chance for Wisconsin Lutheran here in the bottom of 7th. Hotchkiss takes strike 1. We'll get this thing turned on. We're going to try to crank the window this time. Hopefully the interview will come better through this time. I think there was a solution between the brick walls in this building and the outdoors for being so far away. So we're going to try to open up the window and see if that helps. So Lauer's still in there at 93 pitches. So try to go to complete game. That's going to be tough to do. And Hotchkiss on the ground. Zaverill on to first. In time. Nice play over there by Zaverill. And there's one down here in the 7th. Right now, our favorite to be highlight house player of the game is Lauer. Even if he comes short, maybe. No, this is a Ryan Buckta situation from the other day. Evan Lauer, our favorite to become highlight house player of the game if Germantown hangs on. So now it'll be here's the pitch on the ground. Oh, that's the second. Olszewski on the first, and Dreyer grounds out. So quickly 2 outs. So kind of interesting situation now. He's kind of in that Ryan Buckta situation from last week. He's at 96 pitches, 1 out, short of a complete game. So it depends on how this batter goes. So now it'll be Brown coming in. Here's the pitch. Brown takes ball low, 1-0. That one's on the ground to third. Will it stay fair? No, we'll go foul. So Lauer up at 98. So it's kind of in those situations where if Brown reaches, they're going to have to pull the... Yeah, that's the only way they'd have to pull him. Or walks. You can still go over 100. Keep in mind, I stressed this last week. You can go over 100, but you just can't start a new batter after 100. So if he goes at like 104, say he pitches 6 more batters, he's still fine. So Lauer up to 98. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here. That one swing and a miss, strike 2. And I think that Germantown thought it was strike 3 because some of them started running in. It kind of confused me too. I'm like, wait a minute. Am I that wrong on the count? So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lauer up to 99 pitches on the evening. 1 out shy of a complete game. Let's see if he can do it. Yes, he will. Swing and a miss. Evan Lauer, a complete game for Germantown tonight. 3-0 win of Wisconsin Lutheran. He will be our highlight house player of the game. Coming up after this, it'll be Jay Wojcinski and Evan Lauer for our highlight house player of the game.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, we ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
All right, back here at Zaleski Sports. Sorry for the delay. Great game tonight from Germantown. You guys defeat an undefeated Wisconsin Lutheran team. Just tell me about how you got it done, Coach Wojcinski.
Well, this guy right here is the main reason. I mean, when you only give up 2 hits and throw a shutout, it's pretty hard to lose. But, we didn't make any mistakes in the field. We had some timely hitting. We ran the bases well. And, like I said, when he's on the mound, he's dealing.
So just tell me about you guys played a Greater Metro Conference. I mean, that's a tough conference. You got Menominee Falls, Sussex Hamilton was pretty good this year. I checked who you guys have earlier last week. I think it's Wauwatosa West this week coming up. So you guys, no matter what, you can't sleep in that conference. I mean, you always got to come to play. Just tell me about what it's like to play in a conference like the Greater Metro.
Yeah, it's like every game, every week, because we're playing the back-to-back series. So you got to be ready to go. You're seeing everybody's top pitchers. There's no weeks off in that conference. Everybody's tough. Everybody's got good top end pitching, so you really got to be ready to go. every night you're out there. Otherwise, things can happen.
All right, thank you for your time, Coach. Great game tonight. So now here with Highlight House player of the game, Evan Lauer. Evan, 7 complete.
Yeah.
You're our second player this year. Dating back to last week, 2 out of 4 games we've done where you've thrown a complete game on your 100th pitch. So, you just barely got it, but you got it. You had, let me pull it out here, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 2 hits. You didn't give up that hit till the 5th inning. Just tell me about what it was like to be out there and do pretty well against a pretty good Wisconsin Lutheran team.
Yeah, I felt good. I always have trust with the guys standing behind me. We've played good defense all year. So, I was just landing my breaking stuff, and I know that if I can be able to land my breaking stuff, I'm going to be pretty successful. So.
Just tell me about the same thing, at the Greater Metro Conference. I know you guys, I'm sure you have many friends in that conference, but, it's a tough conference to play in. You guys got Tulsa West this week or after the Easter vacation. Just tell me about what it's going to take to get good Greater Metro Conference, because you guys definitely got the guys that get moving. You guys got tough teams in there like Sussex Hamilton, like I mentioned before, Brookfield Central, all those tough teams. Just tell me about what it's going to take to keep rolling through there.
Well, our coach always says that if we play good defense, pitch well, and have timely hitting, we're going to be successful, and that's exactly what we did today. And if we keep doing that, we're going to be tough to beat. So.
All right, I'm sure you don't know what to do.
No.
Okay, so you're going to take the mic. So I'm going to count you down from 3, 2, 1. You're going to say your first and last name, then I'm in the house. You're going to look upstairs right up there, the Credit Union Club right up there. Just say 3, 2, 1, and then your name. Your name, and then I'm in the house.
Evan Lauer, I'm in the house.
Nice applaud from your teammates over there. Here they come. Come on in. All right. 2 games down. Germantown gets the win in that one. Tomorrow's Easter. I'm not sure when our next game is going to be. It's going to probably be sometime in the next week or two. We got a busy week coming up. So stay tuned. ZaleskiSports.com and look at our upcoming broadcast schedule. Otherwise, have a good Easter, everybody, and sign off.